Howdy folks, Danny here, and I'm going to give you a few reasons why I choose to live in Batumi, Georgia at the moment. A bit of a different format style. I'm on my phone. I don't know if the sound's going to be so good. I hope it's going to be okay. Although there's a bit of background noise here and there. So yeah, why Batumi? Why do I live here? A few reasons really. Main reason, I guess, accommodation is quite cheap. In fact, accommodation is very cheap. You can get a flat here for, I pay £300 a month. It works out about 400 USD a month. That includes bills. I live in this building here. Decent view. It's a bit small, but still for the money. I'd say the main reason is because accommodation's affordable here in comparison to much of Europe these days, especially Western Europe. But even Eastern Europe, to be honest guys, these days it's not the place it used to be in terms of prices. Even the likes of Poland now, Romania, these kind of places, they're not cheap anymore. And I mean, it's good for the countries, of course. It means they're developing. But also I think there's a big urbanization happening whereby it's still quite cheap in the villages, but in the big cities, Warsaw, your Warsaws, your Bucharest, your Belgrades, a lot of people are moving there, and the prices are going up quite a bit. Even in Ukraine, even in Kiev, it's the same situation. Even during wartime, people want to be in the big cities. So yeah, you get a cheap flat here. Second of all, the weather's pretty good. It's December now. Blue skies. It's not, I'm in a coat, it's not the warmest, but it's about 13 degrees today. It's quite standard for December. Sunny, 13, 14 degrees. Yeah, nighttime gets a bit cold. It can get bloody freezing actually at nighttime with the wind and the kind of sea air. It can get quite nippy, but for the most part it's very bearable compared to winter in other areas of Eastern Europe and even the UK. Also, as I'm speaking to you all now, it's 4:30, almost 4:45, and it's still quite a long time off getting dark. It gets dark at 6 o'clock in winter. It don't get light until about 8:30, but for me it's perfect because I'm a night owl. Plus with the time zone, we're 4 hours ahead of the UK. A lot of my calls and a lot of my business is still kind of done in and around either the Ukrainian time zone or the UK time zone. We're 2 hours ahead of Ukraine. We're 4 hours ahead of the UK. We're 3 hours ahead of Poland. So yeah, days tend to start late here, and evenings tend to start late, and nights out start late, and I guess the whole lifestyle is built around the time zone and the fact that it gets dark here later and it gets early here, it gets light here later, even in winter. So that's another peak. You don't really feel that with the winter blues here because, you know, it's beautiful. 13 degrees, you got a nice warm coat. You can walk around, you know, there's football courts, people play football, not at the minute, but you've got a volleyball court just around here. You get people still playing volleyball this time of year. You got a lot of like outdoor activities still happening in winter. You got the Caucasus Mountains just over there. I don't know if you can see, probably not, but you got the Caucasus, and they're good for skiing. So you kind of got it all, even in winter time here, without that kind of miserable weather. So that's another reason. Third reason, the tax system. It's very good. It's basically tax-free. I guess the expectation in Georgia is that if you come to work here online, then you're going to come with a bit of money, or you're going to earn a bit of money when you're here. You're not going to earn the local money. You're not taking jobs out of the local economy. You're working online with the US or the EU or the UK, and you're spending your money here, and you're filling the flats as well. As we can see, there's a lot of flats here what they've built, and the building, there's going to be 3 of these bad boys. This big bugger here, still not finished. There's I think there's about 10,000 flats just in these here. There's Orbi C or be D or be A. They're massive. The rooms are pretty small, but you can get a flat here. Should you want to, you can get a flat there for £175 a month, and that normally includes your bills too. So yeah, there's a lot of empty buildings, and a lot of people might say something along the lines of, well, you're taking flats off the locals. Well, in Batumi you're not. You're really not. Because in a lot of places you might be, but in Batumi the city is expanding at such a pace, and there's not enough locals, as in local Georgians, to fill the apartments, because population of Batumi is 200,000. You probably get a few million people coming down in summer. At any one time in summer you get like 500,000 people here. They're not here this time of year, so you've got a lot of empty flats, so you may as well fill them. The idea, I guess, from the Georgian government is just to attract people to live here. You know, you spend your money on the accommodation, you spend your money in the cafes, in the bars, in the restaurants, them kind of places, and it stimulates the economy, even off season. So yeah, 1% tax for all income obtained outside of Georgia, which is basically any online work. Super simple system of just declaring tax once a month. You pay the tax straight away once a month, but it works out. It don't work out much at all. It works out about 1%. So I don't know, say you earn about $2,000 or $3,000. Just an example. Say you earn $2,500 a month. You just send the government $25 a month, and they to keep them off your back, month by month as well. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, that's another reason. Fourth reason I would say is that there's no language barrier here. If you speak English and Russian, my Russian's pretty good these days. I've been learning Russian for quite a while now, like 8-9 years. So if you speak these two languages, there's going to be no problem at all. English these days is kind of the de facto language here in Batumi, actually. I mean, and Russian as well. Georgian's seen more of a local cultural language, but there's no expectation for foreigners to learn Georgian in the same way. If you move to South America or Spain or even Turkey, there's quite a big push for you to learn the local language. In Georgia, for better or for worse, I don't know, but they don't expect you to speak Georgian. If you do, it's nice, of course. I know a few words. Gamarjoba, Madloba, Ara is important here. It means no. If you get a drunk Georgian chasing you or something, asking you to, I don't know, take shots or something with him, cha-cha, it's Ara, bratan, Ara. Anyway, what was I saying? Georgia is a very accessible country, even if you only speak English. A lot of young people have very good English here, I've noticed. And yeah, English is becoming the kind of de facto second language here, in a similar way that it is in Singapore, Dubai, a lot of international places. English kind of takes over. English is creeping in definitely a lot, which is a native English speaker myself. It's I'm not complaining. Russian as well, it's, I'd say about 70% of locals speak Russian here, which is quite a big contrast to in Tbilisi, where it's a lot less. And also the attitude of locals is much, I guess better. It's subjective, but locals here in Batumi are much more open to speaking Russian compared to other parts of the former Soviet Union, where there can be a bit of resistance to speaking Russian. Lithuania, even Tbilisi, the capital, there's quite a bit of resistance to speaking Russian. But here in Batumi, there seems to be very few objections to talking to people in Russian, and thus Russian also becomes a kind of de facto main language here, I guess. Alongside English and Georgian, it's mainly just for the Georgians to communicate amongst themselves. But any international communication is Russian or English, which, as somebody who speaks both, it's perfect. I feel very much at home here. So, any more reasons why Batumi is so cool for me in particular, but I guess maybe also for you, if the person watching, the viewer, if you're considering leaving your home country and working remotely from somewhere. I like the international crowd here. It's a fantastic mix of people. You get a lot of cool people working here. You get a mixture of all people from all over the world, really, but in particular you get a lot of Ukrainians here, a lot of Russians here. You get a lot of Turks here, and a lot come from the likes of Istanbul, and I've got quite a lot of good Turkish friends, cool people. You get a mixture, yeah. You get a few Americans here. It's becoming more and more popular now, even with Brits. There's a lot more now. I think there's about 10 or 15 of us now. I'm sure there's more, but at least in our kind of group of association, there's about 10-15 of us. So yeah, it's becoming a bigger and bigger. It's becoming a more and more popular destination for people wanting to escape the 9-to-5 in the West as well. In terms of cost of stuff like restaurants and that kind of stuff, it's not particularly cheap here. I mean, it's nothing on your likes of Thailand or Vietnam or them kind of places, but saying that, it's still quite cheap. I just had a Middle Eastern combo meal. It cost 17 lari, which is about £5. I got a drink, I got falafels, I got a soup, I got a shawarma, a few olives, a bit of hummus, and chips or fries to you Americans watching, for like £5, which I didn't think was bad at all. Georgian food's relatively cheap. I mean, for like €10 you can have a good feast. Plus, Georgian food is extremely heavy, so you don't have to buy much. You can get away with just buying, I don't know, one hachapuri, which is like the cheesy bread they have here, and that's enough for the full day. Like, honestly, like one Ajarian hachapuri, it's about 2,000 calories, so you can just have that for lunch and you're done for the day. A lot of cheese, it's heavy, it's not healthy at all, but if you're on a budget, you can buy one of them for about £4 or £5 and you're done for the day, basically. Any more perks of Batumi? I like the location. It's a central location. You've got a lot of big countries nearby. You've got a lot of kind of empires, old empires, and empires past and present nearby. You've got the Middle East on our doorstep. You've got Turkey literally 15 kilometers away. You can get a taxi to Turkey if you want for like, I think it's about €10. Just over here you've got the Caucasus Mountains. Behind there you've got Russia, a bit complicated with the visa at the moment and the whole kind of situation, but yeah, I guess it's still a big kind of global bloc which is on your doorstep. EU, just over there, just over the Black Sea, about 500 kilometers in that direction. You've got the EU, you've got Europe, you've got Romania, Bulgaria directly over there, Istanbul over there, an hour and a half flight. You got a lot of flights to Istanbul from the local airport for like £40-50. And over in this direction behind the buildings behind me, you've got the Caucasus. You've got Azerbaijan, Armenia, and then behind the Caspian Sea you've got the likes of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, developing economies, developing markets. I was in these countries on my way back from Asia earlier this year, and they're really booming. These countries are really popping up, and especially Kazakhstan. It's a huge market now, I guess, wedged in between China and Russia. It seems to be making the most of the kind of world becoming two separate entities in terms of East and West, and it's wedged in between, these two kind of superpowers. So, and then behind that you've got China. Even China's not so far. You can be in China in about, 5 hours, I guess. India's not far if you want to do business in India. You know, you've got a lot of big blocks not so far away. You've got a lot of big countries which you can do business with. A nice convenient time zone in between all of them, so you can kind of do business with all sides. And Georgia, I would say, politically is pretty neutral at the minute. It's a kind of Switzerland style country at a time when the world is going a bit crazy in terms of, you know, east and west. Georgia's seems to take a kind of Dubai or kind of Singapore, Malaysia stance, at least politically, in terms of we're open, you know, we'll do business with all sides. If you've got money, we'll work with you, which I think is probably the best way to be these days, as the world's becoming more divided, I guess. Yeah, anyway, that's all. They're the reasons why personally I love Batumi as a place to live. It's a fantastic home away from home now. And yeah, I guess I'll be based here for, well, hopefully a few more years to come. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit subscribe. If you want a call with me to discuss, I don't know, maybe you're thinking of moving to Georgia, maybe you're thinking of moving somewhere. My arm's killing. This is a workout. I'm gonna change arms. Oh, now my hand's in the way. Okay. If you're thinking about moving, I guess leaving the UK, leaving the US, leaving the West and starting a new life, a digital life, in pastures green, get in touch. I'm starting consultation calls. They're not expensive. I'm not going to be expensive, at least to start with. It's more for me just to get a bit of practice in with this style of like consultation. So yes, there won't be much. Get in touch, drop me an email, leave a comment, and yeah, see you all in the next video, whenever that shall be. Bye for now.